I have a job that allows me to be in a space.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm a tennis pro, and I have a group of people, and I feed balls at them all day. I can position my shot to accommodate a weakness. But other than that, I don't really have to do anything else except stand there and facilitate what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, I assume that is considerably more than just hitting a ball back to their weak point.
Well, it's hitting it back in a way that allows them to play it. You know, to work within the means of their ability. So I suppose that's some sort of judgment about what their ability is.
So in that case, the judgment is quite beneficial.
Sure.
So when we talk about judgment, we're obviously not talking about that quality, because that quality is a benefit. You don't want to get rid of that, or you become less functional. So what we want to be rid of is the kind of judgment that brings suffering to us. And that's why when I asked you what you meant by judgment, often the term judgment is such a big one that it covers both two different kinds of things. One that is maybe beneficial, and the other which has this element of suffering to it. And in this teaching, what we're concerned with is homing in to where the suffering lies. What's making you suffer? And if we just say, well, it's judgment, then without homing in on it more deeply, then there's a real danger of kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater and saying, well, you know, I'm not going to make any evaluation of anything because that's the problem. So I simply have to simply be and be present and accept and all the rest of that, and I don't make any kinds of distinctions between this and that. Everything's the same. Of course, that's impossible. We do judge. Our bodies judge. Our bodies judge this fire when it's on my hand is a bad thing. I want to get rid of this. I'm judging this is not to my benefit. I'm making an evaluation. That's very beneficial. And our bodies do this kind of judgment continuously. And so these organisms, these body-mind apparatuses, do in fact judge as part of their functioning. Where you may find where things kind of go awry a bit is when there is a secondary involvement in judgment. And this is the kind of judgment which says what is happening shouldn't be happening, which is different from the judgment, I like this or I don't like this. I consider this to be good or I consider this to be bad. That's what we'll call functional judgment. Operational judgment, if you will. But there's a different kind of judgment, which is this judgment that says what is happening, this thing that I don't like, shouldn't be. It shouldn't be this way. It's wrong fundamentally. It shouldn't exist like this. And that is the claim of the sense that I know what is absolutely right or wrong. I know absolutely how things should be. And of course, at that point, the suffering is inevitable. So when we home in on that kind of judgment and penetrate into the root of what is responsible for that kind of judgment, then we may begin to be able to begin the process of rooting that out, seeing what's at the bottom of it. So this teaching is just offering a bunch of pointers to that thing. Let's look under here and see what's under this rock, see what's crawling around down there, and how that relates to the fundamental issue in life, which is suffering.